Hi, it's Karen here, back with Karen Codes, and I wanted to show you some more about the person class in our Java Basics project. And the first thing I want you to do on your own is just experiment. Create a new person, call them whatever you want, and then try printing out their output and see what you get. I'm going to try John. So you can pause the video now and give it a try, or you can just follow along with me. And John, actually I'm going to leave off any arguments with John, and let's see what output we get for him. Just for now, so go ahead and play around with this, see what you get. Name your people whatever you want. Okay, and again, I didn't supply any values for John, so that's what I get. And there's a couple of other things about the program that I'm not quite liking here. I don't like the square braces, and I don't like how it has the equal signs. I prefer a different labeling. So I'm going to actually go down into my person class, and I'm going to edit my person string. And I'm just going to I'm going to get rid of that square bracket and the last square bracket, and I'm going to replace the last square bracket with a period, just for kicks and giggles. I might change that again. And then instead of the equal sign, I want a colon and a space. So wherever I have an equal sign, I'm going to do colon space. And you can Control F and Control H for your equal signs. But if I do that, it could mess up my assignment operators here. So I'm just gonna do it the long way there. Okay, so if I save this and I go back and run it, I'm gonna have what I prefer for the output. And I'm actually gonna just get rid of that little period because that just looks kind of weird to me. So we can just say goodbye to it, that's fine. And then just go up to the previous line after is married. So that's where the line will end. So now that I have my toString looking like I want it to, the next thing I wanted to show you, so you can do that. You can auto-generate the code for the toString and then just edit it to format and make it look how you want. You can totally do that. The next thing I wanted to show you is what we can do with John. Like, let's say somebody creates for John only his first and last name. So John, we'll do Jones again just for fun. Save. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, I don't want to run it as a Java application. All right. And there's an error. Okay. So what happens when you have a constructor and it doesn't call the correct constructor that already exists? Because we don't have a 2-argument constructor. We only have we only have a new argument constructor, and we have a 4-argument constructor. So one of our solutions, if we want to allow the user to create a person that doesn't have as many fields, we can just say, we can create a new one. And I can auto-generate this, but sometimes it's just as easy to type it out. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to reference the first constructor, and then I'm going to say this dot first name equals first name, and I'm going to do the same thing for last name. And this field called last name, I'm assigning last name to it. And that just allows the user to create somebody like John who doesn't have an age and doesn't declare his marital status. So let me just remove that error and we'll run again. And you're going to see errors like that in your console. Don't worry about them. Now, here's something else that's going on. When we don't have an age declared or an is married declared, it would be nice to have a toString that doesn't display those either. And so what we're going to do is we're going to edit our toString once again. And what we're going to do that we can do is we're going to add a little bit of logic. And so we're going to say if there's no age, then you're going to output such and such. And otherwise, output such and such. So I'm going to do if else. Now, this doesn't like, oh, never mind. If age equals null, which is the default, no, the default is 0. If age equals null, or 0, and is married is false because they didn't put in any kind of value, then this is the code I want you to execute. And operator is undefined for the argument type plan. Okay, that's the default value. So I probably shouldn't say that, huh? Okay, pause. Okay, sorry about that. My logic was a little backwards because I was working with a different programming language, and sometimes I forget the syntax. But what we want to say, if the age is not equal to 0 and the is married is not equal to false, then we want to output the entire toString just as we already have it formatted and just as it already generates. And so, let me just move my curly brace. And we need a closing curly brace because I made an opening one at the end of the if statement there. And we're going to do a second statement. It's going to be an else statement. And you technically don't even have to say else. So let me just remove it. You can say it, but you really don't have to. Because if that's not true, it'll automatically do this next thing that you tell it to do. So what we're going to tell it to do, if there's no age and they're not married, if both of those are true, then we're going to copy the first part of our toString there, and we're actually going to end it at last name. Okay? And so we're going to save this, and now it's going to do some logic. It's going to tell, based on the arguments we provided to the constructor, it's going to determine which toString to use. And as you can see, it's doing Mary and John the way we want it. There's one more fine-tune, actually two more fine-tune things I want to do with it. And we'll go ahead and cover that in our next video, because this video is already close to 10 minutes, so we'll start fresh with the next video. See you next time. Thanks for watching.